So a lot of gamers are wanting to know about the bonk. They see Titans doing these bonk kills. They want to know how to do it. Obviously, you need to get an intro into it. What I use is this shotgun right here with 1-2 punch auto loading. That way I know I always have a bullet in the chamber. You can use whatever shotgun you want in the kinetic slot or the energy slot. I pair it with tractor. You're going to be using middle tree with your throwing hammer and learning how to keep your roaring flames up ×3. You can use whatever grenade you want. There is two different setups. There's Synthesept setup, and then there's the Worm God Caress setup, where you can get one good bonk hammer, like the huge juicer, or you can get the consistent hammer with the Syntheseps when you're surrounded by enemies, which is fine, whatever you want to do. A few mods that I have on is Taken Charge, Thermoclastic Blooming, and Melee Wellmaker. The reason why is because I want to use these mods to make orbs when I throw hammers at enemies, because I'm going to be pairing that with Better Already. When I pick that orb up, it's going to heal me. So pretty much when you're ever in a time where you feel like you're going to die, you're going to pick up the orb. Nothing here, resist mods, nothing crazy. I did want to select these mods to show you that it could be really busted with champion mods, because I'm not using a fusion rifle. If you pair Withering Heat and Thermoclastic with this bonk build, you destroy champions. You make them look stupid. So I just wanted to throw these on here as well. This is more of a mod heavy build. Usually I don't run this many mods, but I wanted to put them on just to show you guys the Thermoclastic Blooming, the Melee Wellmaker, you know, the Protective Light, better already. But on your controller or your mouse and keyboard, you need to change your charged melee to something that you need. So right here, I'm going to swap these. This charged melee is going to go on my mouse. The reason why, you want to be able to throw your hammer like so. Okay? You don't want to get close to something and not use your hammer like this. You don't want to punch. That's bad. That's really bad when you're doing the bonk, because you don't want to punch anything. Now that I have this thing mapped, that I have my hammer mapped, I can run around and I know that I'm throwing my hammer every single time. And every time you hit something, you're making orbs and you're healing yourself. So you can literally just keep doing this over and over and over. When you see the boss and you understand that you need to DPS him, miss your hammer a couple times, just like I did there, and set it up for the DPS. So right now that I see I have Roaring Flames ×3 for 19 seconds, before I go to the boss, I'm going to refresh. So I'm going to refresh this, go to this guy, shotgun with the tractor, and he's done. All I did there was just proc him with the tractor cannon, switch to the 1-2 punch shotgun, and then throw my hammer right after that. Now with Syntheseps, what's really nice is you can throw 2 hammers. You can literally do shotgun melee. So pretty much how to get used to this build is run around like so and don't use any weapons. This is how you get better with it and you understand how it works, because you're just throwing hammers non-stop. But let's just say this boss had a little bit more health. You would do tractor, shotgun melee. That's what's nice. Hopefully that helps you guys get used to it and you can just run around like this, throw your hammer, keep picking up orbs. I mean, look at all these orbs of light. You're always going to be charged with light. You're never going to die. You literally heal non-stop. Every time you pick up an orb, your health regen keeps regenning. I mean, it's literally an unkillable loadout. But the problem is that people don't understand the Roaring Flames ×3 and consistently throwing your charge melee out. Because remember, if you don't keybind that charge melee, you're going to do a regular punch, and that's not what you want. If you understand how to keep up with your Roaring Flames ×3 and set it up for that boss, and then you just tractor, shotgun melee. If you had on Worm Gods, you would have to get your Burning Fist, the ×5, and then you would just shotgun melee once, and you'd get that really huge juicer hammer. You could pair that Worm God with someone else in your fire team using stasis, and I mean that's how Vendetta hammered the new dungeon boss, because they stacked and stacked and stacked buffs and debuffs to get the one shot. Me personally, if you're new to the Synthesept build and you're just doing this and you're just running around having fun, I think you should start with the Syntheseps and understanding how to keep your Roaring Flames ×3 and just running around doing what you want. That build we just went over, the bonk build, this is in the Lost Sector now. I'm just going to show you it in its prime. I'm probably going to mess this up. Oh, Tommy Toughnuts here. Oh, nice champion, by the way. Oh, So when you're making the orbs of light, every time you pick up an orb of light, you heal. Because you see it, as long as I'm in the where the ads are, you know, I'm always healing myself. Every time you pick up an orb of light, you're proccing your resist, like your protective light. So if you get hurt, your protective light kicks in. Yeah, we'll see you later. The reason why the champion's getting melted like that, Chad, because we're pairing it with solar burn. We're pairing it with solar burn. Not only solar burn, withering heat, thermoclastic, and the bonk hammer. So you're adding like a 200% damage buff. And this would happen if it was master or legend. No matter what the difficulty, the same outcome would happen, because you literally can't die, because the game's trying to make you take damage right now, like so, you know, with this curving bullets. I mean, you're gonna, you know, it's gonna hurt a little bit, but again, all I have to do is just stand here, wait till he gets close, hit him with the hammer. And I wanted to show you there, you literally can just keep getting your health back, because you know you have something here to give you your health back. You thought so, bud. Remember, this isn't like the most busted that it can be. This is the intro for you to get used to using it. You just need to get used to using it. You need to get used to running around just throwing your hammer at everything. What was making those orbs was a seasonal mod that we have right here. It's called Thermoclastic Blooming. Defeating a combatant with a solar or a stasis melee creates an orb of power. You're stacking it with this. Melee Well Maker. Powered melee combatants' final blows spawn elemental wells matching your subclass energy type. So you're picking up that. You're picking up melee. You're picking up any orbs you make here, and you're pairing it with your protective light, so you always have health. And every time you hit an enemy with that hammer and it makes an orb, your health begins to regenerate immediately. The thermoclastic and withering heat on your class items is a little overkill, but this is if you're running into champions. So the reason you run this for champions is because your hammer stops the overload and you get the hammer back. So if you chuck the fucking hammer across the room and hit that overload, you have it back in your position. And then you use withering heat. Every single champ you hit with that hammer, you debuff them. They don't stand a fucking chance. There's just no shot. Like, they just get ran over. Everything else is just basic, you know? I'm making a video for it. I'm just gonna tell Weedo about what I just made, and he's gonna throw it into a video, and we'll pop it up on Thursday morning on YouTube.